Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the show. We are back again, but we are without Tapping Tobes. Tobes is over in Portugal enjoying that absolute monstrosity of a performance. So in his place, of course, we have none other than Henry. Henry, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, outside of football, I'm all good. Yeah, I'm pretty good. But in the football world, yeah, it was painful. It was absolutely painful. But besides that, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Pleasure to be on. And yeah, big up to everyone who's tuning in.
Now, big up to you for jumping on, mate. It's always difficult when it's nights like this, but I can't say I feel too sorry for you just because you support that team. But I do big you up for coming on, bruv. And I love you. I still love. Dan, how you feeling, bro? I say Dan United first, I should say. How you doing, Dan? You good?
Pissed off, mate. Pissed off. the fixtures being cancelled just come at the worst time for United because I kind of felt like beating Palace. We never know what's going to happen, but beating Palace and then obviously Leeds as well. We could have put ourselves in a really good position going into the Manchester derby. It's fucked it now, isn't it? Completely fucked. And to make it worse, I'm changing my room around so you can see blurred out washing in the background, and I've purposely blurred out the mirror because I've got a fucking bald spot o'clock tonight, so I'm not having anyone saying that. So it's all blurred.
Listen, it's not been that bad a night, I wouldn't have thought, but clearly it has for you, Dan. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, just do what Tobes does and wear a hat to cover it up. Right? That's what Tobes does.
Never,
get the hat
never.
Lawless, what are you saying?
Yeah, mate, all good. Obviously great to see Henry. We had a good drink up in the Cow in Stratford last time I see him. Unfortunately, it's just a shame Tobes couldn't be here, but it makes it a bit sweeter to know he went all the way out there thinking like this is going to be an amazing away day. We're going to fucking see Portugal, have a great time, few drinks, see Spurs win in the Champions League. And he's lost. He's miserable. He should be on it. I was there in Euston Station, right, on my phone, tuning in. He should have at least jumped on for 5 minutes to take his medicine from Portugal.
Listen, I agree. I actually agree.
He's a coward for that. He's a coward.
I will have him for that because the commitment and all that, Lawless. Do you know what I'm saying? Commitment. Your phone was cutting out. You know what I mean? It was cutting out, and you didn't even win. It was a 1-1 draw. So it's not.
Listen, that's if Spurs would have won like convincingly and in dominant fashion and all of that, he would have found a way to show his face even briefly. But Tobes ducking and diving, no surprise there.
Listen, there's nowhere else to start, really, is there? We're going to use tonight, seeing as football's all gone a bit mental, we're going to use tonight to have a bit of a chat about what's been going on, of course, with the Premier League. However, seeing as the European night is just kind of over, I suppose, for this evening, we might as well have a chat about Spurs, Henry. Listen, I can't lie to you, mate. I've been having debates with people, Arsenal fans in particular. Tottenham are crap. Tottenham are rubbish. Tottenham are playing awful. Tottenham are playing rubbish. I don't care if you're playing rubbish because you're winning, right? So it doesn't bother me if you're playing well, rubbish, or if you're actually just lucky. If you're winning, then I'm not happy, right? Because I'm a gooner and I don't like to see Tottenham do well, of course. But I keep saying, Henry, that it's your manager that is getting that team over the line. Now, I think you've got some quality players. Do not get things twisted. But some of them are a bit of a shambles, in my opinion, particularly at the back. I actually think your team ain't too bad going forward. But at the back, there's some big gaps, in my opinion, right? But Conte seems to be getting them over the line. However, tonight, I don't know what happened, but I'm seeing some of these players now that I'm not so sure deserve to be playing every week. But maybe because I don't watch Tottenham every week, that's not the case. The one in particular who I thought was shocking tonight was Emerson Royale. I don't understand what this guy is. I don't get it. And then Tobes was saying he's starting to get a bit better. I've not seen him play well yet in a Spurs shirt, to be fair. But I mean, it's not like you've got 7 or 8 players here that are all a shambles, because Tottenham actually got quite a good side. But you have got Spence there that you bought for a lot of money. And I don't see why he ain't been given the chance yet. I ain't seen him in a Tottenham shirt at all. So I wanted to get your opinions on tonight's sort of performance, and also what Antonio Conte is doing with some of these players that, let's be honest, we ain't seen many of your players yet that you've signed, other than Richarlison.
Yeah, so for me tonight, before we go into tonight's game, we haven't really played that convincingly apart from the Nottingham Forest game. Every other game, and the Southampton game, we've struggled to get over the line. Lawless will probably get gassed up on me saying this, but West Ham were the better team on the day, right? Marseille, it took us until the 70th minute to actually get firing. Emerson, Chicken Royale, I said to you off stream, the guy's a social experiment. How, honestly, Dan, how this guy is a professional footballer, it gives hope for people like me out there that are thinking, do you know what? There still might be a chance for me at the age of 25. I still might be able to do something. He's so bad, it is hilarious. We've gone from Kyle Walker to Kieran Trippier to Serge Aurier to Matt Doherty to Emerson Chicken fucking Royale. We cannot get any worse from a right back perspective. But today, every Tottenham fan went in with a bit of confidence. 7 games unbeaten in the league and the Champions League, winning last week against Marseille. I was there. It was painful to watch. So about the 60th minute, they obviously got a man sent off. But today, from minute 1 to minute 93, we were second best. Sporting Lisbon deserved it more. We only got half chances. And this is what you get for having all these Spurs fans that are coming out saying we're on a title race. You've had this fantastic window. Absolute bollocks. We still don't have a goal-scoring creative midfielder. We still don't have a good right-back at this football club. We spent 7 months scouting, monitoring, looking at Jed Spence, only for this guy to be 4th choice at right wing-back. Lucas Moura has a higher chance of playing at right wing-back than a guy we spent 7 months scouting. And do you know what? I blame Conte for that, because Matt Doherty, anyone can see, is a better wing back, right? He played wing back a lot of the time at Wolves, and he was quite good going forward, and he had a lot of goals and assists one season. I think he was right up there with the likes of Trent and De Bruyne for chances created. We bring in Emerson Royale, right? And the guy, honestly, he doesn't have a clue. Defensively, he's okay, but going forward, it's like we're playing with 10 men. And today, first half was an absolute stinkfest. Marcus Edwards, ex-Tottenham player, carved us up a few times, had Eric Dyer on his arse. Second half, we was a bit better. Kane had a couple of half chances. Son looks way off the pace. He looks like he couldn't even score in a brothel at the moment. He's that bad. And it's an awkward situation for the manager, because we do not look like a football team without Kulusevski on the pitch. But Son's rut, there's only 2 ways of sorting that out. He either keeps playing and turns his form around, or we rotate him, bring someone else in, and then you say, you go and compete for your position. But he's not going to do that. And why he keeps playing every single game, he's stinking the place out. He hasn't scored now in 7 or 8 games. And this is a guy that bagged 23 league goals last year and over 30 goals in all comps. And now he can't even get a shot on target. It's worrying. A lot of people will say you're being too reactional, but it's not, because the performances haven't been good. Like Harry Kane is not getting man of the match awards. He's not having great performances. He's just scoring tap-ins or headers, which is good, but it's not the Harry Kane that all Tottenham fans know, where he can completely control a game. So it's now up to Conte. We've got Leicester at the weekend. If we don't beat them, I mean, they are the worst footballing team in the league by a long way. We should be going and putting 2-3 goals past them, but it's not a good night for obviously our European campaign, obviously losing 2-0 away to Sporting.
Yeah, and a lot of what you say I agree with, to be fair. And I don't know, Henry, I really like Antonio Conte as a manager. I hated the fact that he went there. And a lot of people are saying that the style of play, that is Conte 100%. But at the moment, it has been getting you out of jail a few times. Now, tonight, we saw a different side to that. And I think that, to be fair, it was a lapse of concentration in the last few minutes, but I don't think the football was outstanding. And to be fair, I never think it's going to be outstanding football under Conte. But he will win you games. And, there's no suggestion that anything's going to be worrying him this season. He's got, all this season to sort everything out. Even if you lose 6 in a row, Conte is the guy. You're never going to have a guy as great as him, in my opinion. But there are times where I've heard Spurs fans question him and sort of say, he needs to try and do something. I want to see a different player in there. I want to see him change it up. Didn't see much being changed tonight, to be honest.
You know what it is? If this was Mourinho right now, everyone would be cussing him, slating him, saying, you fucking dinosaur, this and that. Lawless would be sitting there with a massive smirk on his face because of how shit we're playing. But because it's Conte, there's like this narrative that he can do no wrong. And as a job as a fan, our job is to praise and criticise. We pay, what it's like, Dango and Arsenal, you pay thousands for a season to get the same as Tottenham, right? you expect good results on a football pitch because of the money you put in. The same as Lawless, he goes home and away to most West Ham games. I don't know too much about Dan with the United lot, but as fans, we pay an awful lot of money to go watch our football club. And when you're going against Nottingham Forest and you're coming away with about 42% possession to a promoted club, that's all good when you get the win. But if this was Jose Mourinho right now, everyone would want his head on a stick because we're scraping results. But because it's Conte and he's got this winning mentality, right, it all gets brushed under the carpet, which for me is baffling. I don't know what you lot think, but because if this was Jose right now, we would be grilling him.
I think it's a great point. I think it's a great point. And I'll bring it to you, Lawless, because, you know, you're someone sitting there smiling and smirking a little bit like me, because it's always good when
on this guy's face.
Yeah, exactly. But he is a world-class manager, mate. He is in the elite bracket. But at the moment, like, a few question marks are being spoken about Tottenham's style of play. The reason I don't think it actually matters is because they're winning games. And I haven't tonight, but they were winning games. They ain't lost yet in the Premier League. But I think there are a few fans like Henry here that are questioning what is going wrong at the moment and what went wrong there last night. And maybe he ain't alone. What's your thoughts, Lawless?
Yeah, I think, look, I understand that with that style of play, and it's the same with Mourinho. It's always come at, it's fine when you're winning. You know, as long as you're winning, style of play don't matter. You're not analysing too much. So when you're either dropping points or scraping wins, you know, as Henry says, unconvincingly, and you're thinking like, geez, you know, we kind of got lucky there, or that was a little bit close to the line, you start looking at it and go, well, you know, if I'm not going to be entertained, I want to at least feel confident that, you know, we're going to be winning, you know, a lot of games this season. And I don't think that confidence is there really for Tottenham at the moment, that they can just go and beat most teams in the league, you know, and finish up there and where they want to be finishing. It's a little bit shaky. And like I said, when you're playing like that and it's not massively entertaining and you aren't dominating games, then you want to, you know, at least feel confident and comfortable. You know what? Yeah, we're going to win. And like Leicester's coming up. Yeah, we'll win that. But obviously Henry's going, well, if we don't win that, so there's a worry that there's a good chance that they might not win. So yeah, that's the big thing with that style of play. Obviously, West Ham have had different managers that have played, you know, unattractive football, you know, like Big Sam, for example. Even Pellegrini's, I didn't enjoy it because it was all pass it around. But it's just like, you just analyze it. As soon as you're not winning, all the pressure goes on. Well, you know, look how we play shit football. When you're winning, you're not thinking about it. But I just add that it's funny, you know, all this talk about Cyborg FC. It seems Spurs should be playing Cyborg FC. You know, it seems Spurs should be playing Cyborgs right now. Maybe they would have got the win, although judging by last season, they maybe not with their last conference campaign. Damn, why isn't he here tonight?
Oh, I know, man. It is one of those.
It's like I can't grill you too much about Arsenal. It's you two are like Eminem in 8 Mile, where you just shit on your own clubs too much. Where it's like, what can you say now? I've said it all myself. We've shitted on our clubs.
Toby's is a passion merchant. He can. I saw him at the Marseille game, and he was like, "Oh, we're going to slap these. We're going to slap these with confidence. And we should be disposing these." But he has tendencies where he buys into these buzzwords like the process and all that. And then I'm saying, like, you just got to, you know, calm it down, because we deep down we know who we are. You know what I mean? Like, we know.
Don't calm him down. We love this. We want him to get carried away. We want him to get hyped up, so the fall is even greater. You need to be just nudging.
Yeah, but Henry's trying to have his back. You're not. That's the difference.
No, I'm trying to be more positive myself. I mean, like, at least we are competing against, you know, proper outlets. Like, instead of the competition we were in last year, where you're playing like Wi-Fi passwords. So it is a step in the right direction, but, you know, today we got humbled. We played against a footballing team, you know, not this counter-attack bullshit that we've got right now.
Listen, I brought Tottenham up first because of tonight, but Dan, I want to come to you because you know too well about what it's like playing under Jose Mourinho, and some of the football that he was playing at United, of course, wasn't too great at times. But in terms of Tottenham, forget about tonight's performance. I still think they're going to get top 4. I still think Conte will do fine, and I still fancy them in the top 3. Nothing's changed for me in terms of that. So I want to get your opinions on Spurs this season. And kind of named this podcast on who can get close to City, because I know that we're top of the league, but I think everybody knows Arsenal aren't going to stay there to come May. I think everybody knows that Tottenham probably aren't going to be putting in a title challenge. Liverpool maybe not, Chelsea maybe not. It looks like Man City are going to get it quite easy, in my opinion. But I just want to see if there's anyone on the kind of paddle believes that could compete with Man City. Do you know what I mean? Is there anybody here believes that Man City aren't going to walk it and someone is going to catch them? So kind of wanted to get your thoughts down on where you see Tottenham this season in under Antonio Conte, mate.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, we've said from day one there's a lot worse teams out there this season. A lot of teams are looking disjointed. Well, look at us, we struggled. West Ham are still looking for that run. I'm not obviously mocking Lawless there. They're looking for that consistency. Spurs have been quite fortunate to have that consistency from the start, but it's games like tonight that then you look at the squad and think, right, are they going? How do they pick themselves up from this loss? Regardless of what we say, two late goals in injury time can really knock the stuffing out of a team. Now, the question I'd have to Henry, which I would have had to Tobes tonight, is, apart from obviously the chicken royale, that shite that we see, what changes would you make against Leicester?
Straight away, like I said, Jed Spence or Doherty at right wing back. Kulusevski starts over Heung-min Son at the moment. The best front three we've got at the moment is Richarlison, Kane, and Kulu. And then Lenglet's got to start for me every game now. But the one thing that's more frustrating than not is, like, not calling like Dan out, but all the Arsenal fans were twerking for Basuma, right? Loads of teams wanted Basuma, and he can't even get in our fucking team. Like,
why is that though, Henry? Why is that?
Because this is Conte. He loves. I'm not saying that Højbjerg and Ben Score are shit players, but he likes average footballers. Like at Inter Milan, he was raving about Moses and Ashley Young. So I don't know why. I genuinely do not fucking understand it. He's very like Zar Spurs TV is always in my streams. He's absolutely spot on. Conte is so stubborn. Like, Basuma starts for West Ham, Arsenal, and maybe Man United at the moment, right? And that's just my opinion. But he can't even get in out. He can't even get in our team, and we haven't got an ounce of creativity. I'm not saying Basuma's going to be fucking Sergio Busquets, but just give us something more. I'm sick and tired of seeing the double pivot. Like, Tobe says, oh yeah, we need something more about a low block, and we were both calling out for Basuma. This guy can't even get in our team, Dan. He's on the bench. He's played 40 minutes of Premier League football in 6 games. Like, what?
I can't believe it. Like, I don't mind Højbjerg and Bentancur as footballers. Don't get me wrong. I don't think they're shocking. I don't think they're amazing, but I don't think they're shocking. But surely Basuma can get in front of that midfield. I mean, it's not like it's a midfield of Keenan Skulls, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's unbelievable to think this guy's not getting in. So, listen, maybe he does need to shake it up a bit. I'm not saying, I mean, we come on here tonight and make it sound like Tottenham are in a relegation battle. It's just not the case. But I do think that there can be some improvements, slightly tweaked with the players you got on the bench. I'm looking at Jed Spence. I'm looking at Basuma. Kulusevski should be playing all the time, mate. He is wicked, absolutely wicked player. And if it means that Son has to get dropped for a couple, because, Tobes, to be fair to him, came on here and said he's been shocking this season so far, then so be it. You know what I mean? If that's what has to happen, that's what has to happen. You can't drop Kulusevski, in my opinion. Saw him against Southampton, I think it was the first game of the season. I thought he was unplayable. Absolutely superb. So I don't know how he's not getting in the side. But listen, mate, it ain't going to go wrong. Just put it that way, because it never does under Conte. But I can understand your frustration.
There's always, as a Spurs fan, like, there's always that thought in the back of your head, when is it going to go tits up? And
I don't think it will. I don't think it will under Conte. I think it would under another manager. Like, if Nuno was still there, I think you'd be pulling your hair out.
Oh,
but
we
I think
couldn't
Conte,
even get a shot on target under him. We
there you
were
go.
firing blanks.
There you go. But, like, let's spin it around to you, mate. Like, Tottenham this season, Henry, because we haven't really spoke to you on here. What are you looking at in terms of the league? I know you want a trophy. I get that. Conte can get you a trophy. Trust me, he can. But what are you looking for in the league, realistically, mate? Can you challenge Man City, or is it just not possible?
What's realistic for me would be, well, I don't say it's realistic because we haven't won a trophy in 15 seasons. It will be this year, but we have to get some sort of silverware. Like, we are the analogy I would give is we're like a lion that hasn't eaten for so long. All we're doing is chasing that gazelle. And you're seeing all the other big dogs in the league eating. We haven't in so long. It's like we're an anorexic lion. And we've got this fantastic stadium and this fantastic manager. We've got to bring some sort of silverware. If I'm talking out of the pack, so Man City for me are clear favourites, regardless of any Arsenal fan that tells you they're in a title race. Man City, Erling Haaland could reach monstrous numbers this year in the Premier League. It's about out of Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, and all the other teams around, Liverpool, Spurs, who can pull out of that pack. If you said to me at the beginning of the season, I probably would have said it would have been us, because I thought the first two managers to be sacked would be Gerrard and Tuchel. The body language didn't look right after the first couple of games. Obviously, you guys are winning, but with Arteta, for me, that he's too naive in big moments, in big games, and that costs you. I'm not saying that it's gonna completely cost your whole season, but for me, with Tottenham, can we keep up with Man City? No. But I think top 4 and a trophy under Conte should be realistic expectations when you look at his footballing CV. However, now that Chelsea have got Graham Potter, I'm a big fan of Potter. Laws will tell you he's got West Ham's number every time he plays them. They can't get near him.
That's just the fucking club of Brighton. It don't matter what we couldn't beat Chris Hughton. Let alone, I'd be interested to see if we beat him now. They've got fucking.
No, but he will straight away. He'll make them hard to beat, and they'll be playing better.
I agree with Henry.
More fluid, liquid football. And Man United as well. I mean, first couple of games in, they look like they've just come back from some sort of crazy night out where everyone's just got no energy. Now Ten Hag's got them firing all cylinders. But I think top 4 in a trophy should be realistic for Tottenham. I think third place will be where we should be at.
The thing with City though is, this is the scary thing about them. Ideally, you'd say stop Haaland or stop City, but that's the problem with City. You stop Haaland, you've got Gundogan who will get goals. You've got, De Bruyne who will get goals. You've got so many goals in that team. Foden will get goals, and that's the issue, isn't it? With City running away with it, is you just can't stop them. I mean, okay, Villa, again, away from home, they've not dominated as much as you'd anticipate they would, but there's just scary amounts of goals in that team. And I kind of feel like what Potts was saying and what Henry's saying, it is literally who finishes best of the rest. And we're saying this on the 13th of September. Do you know what I mean? That's how scary that side is. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, man. And like, if Haaland stays fit, I honestly believe he could break the record for the Golden Boot. Like, I don't know what the record is. I guess is it 35 or something like that. I think he could get more than that. This guy's ridiculous, man. He's got double figures already, and we're not. It's just, this is nuts, mate. What we're seeing, absolutely mental. I think Man City will walk it. I said at the start of the season that it'll be very close in terms of top 4. I had Liverpool down for 2nd. I had Spurs down for 3rd. I had Chelsea for 4th, Arsenal 5th, and Man United 6th. If I'm honest, I'm going to stick with that for now because I don't think 6 games in you can change it too much. But if
where'd you have West Ham, Pot? Where'd you have West Ham, mate? Sorry, just asking for a friend.
I don't count them. No, sorry, Lawrence. I had West Ham 7th. I had West Ham 7th.
What a difference a few weeks makes, right? With these Man United fans, like all of a sudden, like everything's rosy. Look how happy they are. Like I'm hearing some of their fans talking about challenging.
Oh, that's a load of bollocks. We're not challenging. We're definitely not. I'll tell you what, they're fucking morons saying that. They're morons.
Listen, your stadium's falling apart, mate. So, I'd say just put your chest in a bit more, yeah? Like, fix the league.
Yeah, but Dan, at least they're not charging, what is it, £7 saying for a beer? What is it, £4.50?
That is a disgrace, by the way.
We have upper crust fans, not riffraff like
it tastes shite as well. Like Lawless will tell you, it tastes beautiful. It tastes.
They've got rainwater dripping in their beers.
I'd take rainwater over that fish you're serving, mate. Jesus Christ!
Mate. At least it comes in a pint glass that don't leak out the bottom like at Tottenham's ground. Jesus Christ!
Do you know what? It happened the other day where someone picked it up and it just completely fell out the bottom.
I had it when I went last season to that absolute shocking performance. My pipe was falling out as I was walking along. I think this ain't going to be a good day, is it? Just like this ain't going to be a good day. But no, I think Man City will walk it, and I don't think there's anything there. The only thing I could tweak is potentially Arsenal nicking the Champions League spot instead of Chelsea, and maybe Spurs getting second ahead of Liverpool. But now we saw tonight Liverpool's players coming back. It looked a little bit more like the old Liverpool. At times it didn't look too rosy, but Ajax had a bad side. And I looked at Matip coming back, Darwin Nunez coming back, Jota coming back, Thiago coming back, and they started to look a little bit better. So I still fancy Liverpool in and around that, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be a massive change from it. But in terms of Spurs, Lawless, just lastly, do you think there's anything at all you've seen to think that they could put in a challenge for a title at all? Or do you think Conte is going to be able to take them only so far?
No, like there's no way they're challenging for the title. And I'm not saying they're going to be shit or whatever. Like you said, they'll probably get top 4. They've got a lot of the components there on paper that you could say, like, if you looked at it on paper and you look at, okay, they got Conte, they've got Kane, Son, like you said, Kulusevski, Basuma, Perisic, all of this. Like you looked at it on paper, you go, boy, that's a team that could potentially challenge for title. But football's not played on paper, and that's the reality. And Conte has to find a way to get all of these best players playing together and playing well as a team. So, yeah, I can't see it. I don't expect them to be this shaky all season. They'll probably go on a bit of a run. But, yeah, man, no title challenge. I think they might have a good Europa League run.
Europa League?
Yeah, obviously Europa League.
Shut up.
Because we finish third, you end up in the Europa League.
You wouldn't worry about yourself, Lawless, mate. You could just about beat the Romanian Plumbers the other night, 1-0 down.
Listen, you got to make it. You got to make it dramatic.
Was it Bucharest, wasn't it? That another Wi-Fi password. And you got to remember, Unai Emery's in that Conference League and Fiorentina.
1986 Champions League.
Here we go.
Let's not go there, man. Let's not go there.
Henry, you had to say it.
Tottenham were the first English team to get beat by bloody Sporting in the Champions League. There's a record that you didn't want. So
it's the Eric Dyer derby, they're calling it, because he went to that academy.
Wow.
Oh my days! No, listen, I'm trying to say it all tongue in cheek, but obviously at the moment it's early enough for City to be caught if things were to go wrong. So we have to have that discussion. But I think personally, Man City will absolutely walk it, and I don't think there is anyone that's in a title race with them. I think it's just them. I think they are literally them, and I think I'll say this now, and I said it's your fair. I think anything could happen after that. I think any of us could see a second place, a third place, a fourth place, all mixed up. No one knows what's going to happen. And that's only because Liverpool and Chelsea have started so poorly. Now, I'm not saying West Ham can finish second. Don't get me wrong, up before Lawless gets carried away. But there's definitely a chance for this league to be a little bit muddled this season. Add to that the fact that we've just heard news of games being cancelled. Add to that the fact that there's going to be a World Cup in the middle of it. This could be a strange one. This could be a Leicester City type season. I think Man City will win the league. I can't see anybody else doing it. But I think the order could be a little bit muddled. So it'd be good to have that discussion, man. Let's have a little bit of before we kind of come to the last part of the show, I want to talk a little bit about the other teams involved at the moment on the panel. Might as well talk about West Ham. Because, Lawless has a lot of chest at times. He backs his team. He likes to come out to say that, they're going to have a good season. They're going to finish above Man United. They're favourites to win the European Conference League. I just want to know if Lawless is still confident in both those comments and both those statements he made early on.
Well, I still think that we are definitely one of the favourites to win the Conference League.
One of the favourites or the favourite?
Well, look, there's some good teams, and there might be some good teams from Europa League dropping out. I'll have to use there. Like I said, obviously, Roma won it last year, top team. But you got to fancy us. I think a lot of people would put money on us to win it, right? We did well in the Europa League, so finish above Man United. Like I said, it's still early. There's still time for them to upload Rashford.
Lawless. 1-1, drawn 1, lost 4.
it's early doors, mate. It's early doors.
I know it's early doors, mate, but come on now, Jesus Christ!
No, but what I'm saying is, this doesn't define any one season. These games. Look at Man City. How many times do they start slow and then go and end up just slapping teams and winning the league? Now,
They're starting slow, Lawless, and then fucking crawling, mate. It's ridiculous, mate. Come on.
Listen, it happened. Listen, you've bloody won your first 4 games in before under Mourinho and had a shit season. Everton did that, won their first 4 games in August, had a shit season. So yeah, I'm not gonna read too much into it. However, we do need to start. Now's the time to start. We can start slow, but not too slow. I had a nightmare last night that we lost on Sunday, and I became Moyes out.
I was going to ask you.
Well, again,
I was going to ask you something on this, Dan.
Yeah.
Because I speak to Dom quite a lot. Quite a level-headed fan, I'd say. Bit of a passion merchant like myself. And I was saying to him the other day, obviously you think you've had a good window, and rightly so. Respective to their club, I think you've had one of the best windows. You know, Lucas Paqueta's a steal. How many games does this kind of form? I know obviously you were shafted against Chelsea and that's corruption and all that, but how many more games, if the form doesn't continue, do you start asking the door for David Moyes? Because like Dan said, you've won 1, you've drawn 1, and you've lost 4.
Sorry, Henry, can you just say that again? Sorry, mate.
You've won 1, you've lost 1, and you've won 1, you've drawn 1, you lost 4.
Do you want it on a t-shirt, Dan? Do you want it on a t-shirt? I'll send it.
Put it on a mug. Put it on a mug, Lawless. Put it on a mug.
No mug will beat that.
Love it.
What is this mug? What does that say on it? Champions League.
It says Tottenham Hotspur supporters mug, not to be confused with an actual cup.
Wow, there you go. What a great mug that is. Get that for Tobes.
But yeah, so like, how many more games, Lawrence, do you think before you start getting that white banner out and saying that it's time to go, mate? Like a great man once said.
I've said that Moyes should be allowed a not so great season, like a dip, and to be able to turn it around. And I think a lot of managers, Tuchel should have been able to have that. And give the opportunity to fix things in the summer. However, spending what we've spent, like 160 million or whatever we've spent, Moyes has fully been backed with his players. If we lose Sunday and then we continue to lose and we lose the next game and maybe we draw the game and then you get like you need to start asking serious questions, because yeah, you can say, obviously, look, you sign all them players, you don't expect them to just click straight away and all of a sudden they're good to go and they're adapting to the league. But yeah, by that point, like, we need to start seeing these players clicking and switching now. And if you're not ready to start them, the players that you are starting need to do the business. So, like I said,
think he's going to play him now. I think he's going to play him now. It can't be. He's got to go with these new signings now, man. You've made great signings. I don't know what we're not seeing them for.
That's
Next
the
3 games are winnable.
What's that, Dan?
Next 3 games are definitely winnable, aren't they? I mean, I'd expect you to win them 3 games. I would.
Yeah, you can argue. Obviously, look, we had Man City.
But no, that was postponed.
Oh yeah, of course it was. So
Everton, Wolves, and Fulham. Everton, Wolves, and Fulham.
Yeah, Wolves away.
Home.
Yeah, you should be winning those games.
We should be. Like, you look at the games that we had in August. Man City, don't expect us to win that at all. Nottingham Forest, we should have won. We was unlucky, but I don't even bring that into it. It's just pathetic anyway. Should have won that game. Villa, we won. Tottenham, obviously, that was a tough game. We got a point out of that. That's all fair. Chelsea, obviously away at Stamford Bridge, we got kind of robbed, but we didn't get the 3 point. We didn't even get a point. I don't know if there's a team I'm missing out of that. But so really, when you look at it, it's not as disastrous as it sounds when you look at the context. Now, there's no excuses. Have to beat Everton. They're not a great side at all. And like you said, Wolves, very, very shaky. Unless Diego Costa becomes amazing for them. And I think, wow, is he 38? whatever.
No, it's
I'm
not
weird.
stupid.
Steiner.
33.
Oh, is it? He looks 38.
You've got to
Weird
get past
Steiner.
the major European heavyweight in Steinborg on Thursday yet. So
Listen, we got Silkborg. We beat
that's the
beat
one.
their cousins.
Cyborg, whatever
and
Doctor Who
Silkborg.
character you want to call him.
Well, no, that's it. It was Viborg, and now we've got Silkborg, who is literally up the road from them. So listen, we'll top our group. We'll top the group. That's nothing. That's light work. Yeah, we do that. We top groups in Europe, right? Okay.
Oh my God!
it's the
Listen
league.
to this.
It's the league, yeah, that we need to start. Our league form, we need to start picking up. But yeah,
It's as if West Ham have qualified for Europe for the last 20 years or something. The way you're going on, we top groups. I've seen you in there 2 years.
We top groups. When we're in Europe, we top groups. I'm going to top this one. But yeah, listen, I wasn't Moyes' biggest fan the last time around. I wasn't the one who wanted him back. He won me over, obviously, with the seasons, but he's a frustrating guy. And I always have to hold back and temper my feelings on him to say, get this guy. The thing is, if we sack him, no, do you know what, though? This was part of the nightmare as well, because Pochettino was on the horizon, and it was like
that football club. No way.
You say that.
He said he was interested in Chelsea, wasn't he? He was interested in Chelsea.
Chelsea and PSG are at similar wavelengths.
No, but right, that clown Tobes last week.
Know what the
it was on
League
this
is.
show. Was it on this show?
It was.
He'll never go to Chelsea. He'll never do that. He's Tottenham through and through. And what happened? He was literally in the consideration for it. He was speaking to Chelsea. So we can't rule it out. Look, you know, I think if the money was there, where else is he gonna go? Like, let's be real. What jobs where's he going to now?
I told you I think he'll go next.
Where?
Tottenham. When Conte goes at the end of the season.
Leave it out.
Well,
he goes back.
Be a Daniel Levy move, and all these title race fans that think we're in it would be wetting their pants.
That's for
Conte, Pochettino. That is a massive step down.
Pots. Come on, man. Like,
listen, I'm not saying it's the right move. I'm just saying that's
but what I'm saying is, for that to happen, right? I expect Conte to at least be the Tottenham manager by the end of the season.
Yep.
Right.
And I don't know that Poch will go. I think he'll stay for that.
Do you not think Poch could go somewhere like Villa?
It could go Villa. Could go
Villa.
Villa.
He won't go West Ham.
Goes.
He could go Villa, but he won't go West Ham, Potts. What are you saying?
I didn't say he wouldn't go West Ham.
Oh, it was Henry. He would go Villa, but he wouldn't go West Ham.
No chance.
We'll see.
It's because of the West Ham Tottenham rivalry. I think they mean.
Yeah, like he's very loyal. That's why he never managed Barcelona.
But why did he want to go Chelsea though? If he's so loyal?
But he's been in the hat for loads of jobs. He was in the hat for the United job.
No, but what Fabrizio said, he was actually speaking to Chelsea about the job. Like he was considered, like if he would have got offered it, he probably would have took the job.
Listen, he can talk to him as much as he wants, but that'd be like as much as we are ashamed. You understand what shameless is, right? You're like the king of it. As much as we are shameless, that would be like a dagger to our heart if he left. Because admittedly, he didn't win anything, and you could say it was our glory days. But there was, his expressions would say, there was champagne football. Now we've got we're winning games, but it's painful. We're winning games in style, and he ain't gonna join. I bet you there's no way in hell he's joining West Ham, even if you offered serious wages.
I don't think he will. I don't think he'll go there. And do you know what? I don't even think Moyes will get sacked. So I don't.
No,
there's a little bit of you. There's a little bit of you though that does want Pochettino, just to see the look on mine and Tobes' face.
Do you know what? It'd be amazing if he comes to West Ham and won something with us. Oh my god! Oh, what I would give for that! My soul would be sold in a heartbeat if you offered it to me. That possibility, but. Yeah, like, look, that's the only thing. Like, it's tempting when you see, like, okay, Poch is out of the job, Tuchel was out of a job. Obviously, I'm not saying they would jump at the chance to manage West Ham, but if you could tempt them, it makes things it puts the fact that they're out of jobs puts more pressure on Moyes because people start, if the performances don't pick up, people are thinking, well, this guy's available. And the Moyes out brigade comes quicker. Like, to me, if there's no one else out there, there's no point sacking a guy. But when you start to see who's available,
that's a good point.
It puts extra pressure on him. So But yeah, like you
I
said,
think you'll
that,
turn it
I
around.
can't
I
see
think
it.
you'll play the players. I think you'll turn it around in these 3 games. You need to. I think Skamaka, Paqueta, obviously Emerson's playing at left back anyway. To be fair, your centre halves. Like, when's that Aguerd back? Is he out for like months or something?
He's probably we're probably going to see him till like December or something. Or
Yeah,
January,
but
like.
obviously Kera
It's
is coming
goals,
in.
isn't it? It's goals that they need. Is it 3 they've got in the league?
Yeah.
So you need.
Yeah.
I'm not even taking the piss, Lawless. It is, though, isn't it? It's goals. Is
It is
Skamaka
goals.
actually? Is he fit now?
He was. Yeah, he played in the
He was ill when he was saying.
Europa Conference. He had some sort of illness, but he played in the conference.
He's got to play because he does look a nuisance. He looks, and Paqueta behind him. I think you'll and Bowen needs to sort his life out. He's been shocking. I think Bowen.
He's like he does bits in the Conference League, but in the Premier League, like I don't. He still needs to be dropped, in my opinion. He has to be dropped. Players cannot be allowed to be, to have that bad form.
Yeah.
And just continue. You have to drop him. Like, the treatment of Ben Rama frustrates me even more. How he can be on great form and all of a sudden he's dropped out of the team. That pisses me off. But yeah, I think once we start getting the components together, we get our best team, our strongest 11 week in, week out in the league. We're gonna start scoring goals. We're gonna start picking up points. Moyes just needs to start sticking them in and trust them and play them into form. These new players, let them.
I think you will, man. I think you will.
Flynn Downs as well. My guy Flynn Downs would look good, by the way, the other day. So Souček, he's going to be knocking on the door.
Yeah, he will be. And you're Souček, who you love. Says Henry Wright, he wins games. This is Pochettino. He wins games, not trophies. Hence why West Ham would be perfect for him.
I don't know who he's dissing more. You said that about us as well.
I don't know who he's dissing more there, us or Spurs.
Well, I think both, to be fair, because he's a gooner, Ronnie. So,
but he did win trophies at PSG, though. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that is true. Lawless, before we move to Man United, where's West Ham going to finish, and are you going to win the Ropey Conference?
Come close to the screen, Lawless. I need to see this, mate. Come close to the screen. I need to see this.
I'm still saying it, like you said, Potts. Right? You said why? You said your predictions. I'm not going to change them after 6 games or whatever it is. That was your words like 10 minutes ago.
Agreed.
Why would I change my predictions after 10 games? Yeah, it's looking.
Because your prediction was stupid
there
at the start of the season. That's why.
No, listen, it's looking all rosy up there in Manchester, and all of that stuff. But look, Rashford's just got injured in training, who looked to be turning things around. There's still those seeds, those toxic little seeds in that squad. And once they start sort of bearing fruit again, things could end up turning around. It just takes a couple of bad results and people start questioning, well, why is he in the team? Why am I in the team? And doing all of that, their little maneuvers behind the manager's back. And it's all great when you're winning and they're on their little run, but trust me, it's a long season to go. We've got games getting postponed that's going to impact things for sure. Trying to fit in those fixtures. We've got the World Cup to come. Plenty of twists and turns.
Just a quick one, mate, and I'll come close as well. Rashford's not injured, but he was in training today.
All right, well, he was in training, but listen, it's inevitable that he'll go out of form anyway. He's one of the most unreliable star boys in football, honestly. The guy's has 3 good games and then goes missing for 10. So
I can't argue with that. You know my thoughts on Rashford. We said
I'm not saying anything on that one because the last time I said that he banged in 2 against Arsenal, so I ain't saying it anymore. I don't rate him at all, but then he goes and scores against us all the time.
I think Dan should just stop playing the Champions League music every night before he goes to bed. Right? Just calm it down, relax. It's early doors, mate. Plenty of twists and turns to go. Because I swear to God, if we do finish above you, you are finished, mate. You are finished.
If you finish above us, next season I will wear a West Ham shirt every fucking week. I am that confident that you are not finishing above us, mate. I mean it. You can clip it, whatever. I will wear that shirt every fucking week.
And don't sit there and say well, we didn't finish above you, but we won the Carabao, so we had a better.
No. Definitely not, mate. Definitely not. I'm a man of my word.
All right, but you never know. We might see you in the Conference League all the same anyway, and knock you out of that, and then I'll be able to still hold my head high. So
Conference League.
yeah, they'll probably drop down into the Conference League, and we'll see
Can you
them
imagine?
there.
So the answer is yes, you will finish above United, and yes, you will win the Europa
Like
Conference
I said,
League.
why should I change my predictions
Okay.
after 6
Okay.
games, mate? Why should I
Calm.
change?
Okay.
No, I agree.
Let's move to Man United. Someone else who said that Manchester United will definitely be finishing fourth 3 times is obviously Dan. It's looking good for you at the moment, mate. 4 wins. You obviously ripped us a new one in terms of the scoreline, but I don't think the performance was outstanding, but certainly improved on the first couple of games. Sticking with it, top 4, as you said, I think, to be fair, I don't think it's as crazy cool as it was at the start of the season just because of the form of the others. However, I'm still not going to say United will get it. But at the moment, you do have to give props to Ten Hag. I think he's looking good. I think what he's done with the team is very sensible with certain players. I think going for pace, brave decisions, dropping Maguire and Ronaldo and Shaw. I think he's stuck to his guns. One of the decisions he's made, which has been really good, which I don't think it will last long term, but it has been great, is what we mentioned last week about Eriksen in that role, which I thought was never going to work, and it looked like it has worked for him. But long term, Dan, are you worried about certain things, or are you quite comfortable at the moment to think that you've got a good enough team to go and put in a top 4 challenge and maybe a trophy?
Well, look, I mean, the first and foremost, in that Arsenal game we're talking about, we did actually score the same amount of goals that West Ham have scored all season in the league. So, goals aren't an issue. Don't need to worry about any. There's no issues there at all. No, on a serious note, look, Lawless, I'm trying to fill in as best I can for Tobes tonight for you. That's all I'm doing, mate. That's all I'm doing.
Listen, you're just creating a rod for your own back, mate.
No chance, brother. No. In all seriousness, you look at United's fixtures the next 3 or 4 weeks. This is going to define, I think, where we're if we are at that level of getting into the top 4. We've got some stunners. We got City. I've got them here. We got Spurs at home, Chelsea away. We've got some big games coming up. Now, the thing that does fill me with a little bit of hope is obviously 2 of the top 6 that we've played so far, we've got results against. So this is going to be what defines us this season. I mean, look, we've got a long way to go, but look, these games are massive. They're absolutely massive. And if you want to be considered as legitimate challengers for top 4, you've got to be in these games. I kind of find it weird against the lesser teams like Leicester. We did struggle. We were awful, but then against the bigger sides, we seem to be up for it. It's bizarre. It's not been like that the last few seasons. City, I don't see us going there and getting a win at all. I think the most important thing to go for us at City is not to lose. If we can get a point there, dreamland. But the main thing is it's just taking each game as it comes, not setting ourselves stupid targets. And I think that's what Ten Hag has instilled into this group. We move on to the next game. That game's gone. Let's move on to this game. We take this game. Okay, we finish that game. We move on to the next game. It's a massive 6 weeks for United. Like I said off camera, it didn't help the 2 games getting postponed that we played, because I kind of felt like they were winnable games and would have put us in really, really good position. I mean, was it City and Spurs that were playing that got cancelled? United could have been above City or Spurs last weekend. And that's massive considering the start to the season we had. Again, in no way am I saying that we're in a title race. We're definitely not. But I stand by what I said about top 4, and I said this in the pre-season show. This top 4 is not going to be a nailed-on top 4 this season. It's not. It is going to be tight all the way through this season. The only thing that I think has helped a little bit is Potter leaving Brighton, because Brighton were a team that I think under him incredible to play to try and break down. Was just scoring goals for fun, and they hit people, and Lawless will agree, they hit people and they counter people and they get the results. Now he's left there, that's a team that I look at and I think, well, I'm not as concerned playing them now. Do you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? And it's teams that us guys, bar Lawless, because obviously he's third bottom. It's teams like that we're going to be playing, and we need to beat to solidify our march for the top four. So yeah, I'm saying top four still. I don't give a flying monkeys. I'm still saying top four. It's top four.
You just better make sure you do beat those teams, mate. You better make sure you do. I swear. You better beat them.
Lawless, you do you, brother. You do you. Let's get yourself out the bottom three, and then we'll start talking. Yeah.
Listen, we would have been out of there by already now if it weren't for events on the weekend. I'm sure.
Come on, hang on. Let's just not. Let's just.
My battery's on 2%, lads. I'll be back in 2 secs.
Yeah, no worries, Dan. Listen, let's move on to Arsenal before we do kind of wrap up. And I wanted to touch on Chelsea and Potter, but I think we've done that enough, to be honest. I think Potter will improve them because, let's be honest, Chelsea can't get much worse, and they've actually got a squad which I think is good enough to go for the top four, not for a title. I think Potter is a really underrated manager. I think he's been superb. I really do. I love what he's done at Östersund and Swansea at Brighton. Learned his trade. I think he deserves the job, and I hope that in his kind of selfishness that it obviously goes wrong, but in a way I quite like him, so it's a hard one for me. I don't like Chelsea at all, and I don't want them to do well, but at the same time I really like Graham Potter, and I would have taken him tomorrow even now. But as far as Arsenal are concerned, a lot of Arsenal in the chat, a lot of Arsenal watch this, I just feel like our squad is too thin, and it might be that Partey, Jesus, Saka, Tomiyasu, Ramsdale all stay fit for the whole season and it's hunky-dory. But if one of those goes missing, I worry. And the reason I worry is that I don't think the cover is good enough. The drop-off from Partey to Lokonga is huge. The drop-off from Jesus to Nketiah is huge. The drop-off from Ramsdale to Turner, oh my God, this goalkeeper, trust me, I've seen him in pre-season and now in the Europa League, and I pray Ramsdale doesn't get injured because this guy looks really nervy and flappy at the moment. So there's some concerns for me because the first 11 I actually think looks quite good. And I think most people have said that now. It has taken us a while to get that first 11, it has to be said, but it does look okay now. But the cover ain't really there for me. And I think personally, that will be our downfall if we want to go for this top four. I don't see Arsenal in a title race. As I said earlier, I don't see anyone in a title race other than City. But when I look at things, going for that top four, trying to win the Europa League, that would be a good season for us if we got both of those. But I want to get your opinions on it because I've had enough say on Arsenal and the content I do. Henry, we'll start with you, obviously, as a geographical rival. What's your thoughts on Arsenal, man? Do you think that things are looking rosy or do you still have concerns, mate?
I think you've hit the nail on the head, to be honest. I think you've got a similar issue to Spurs. The drop-off in depth is frightening. Like, if we go to Heung-min Son to Brian Hill, it's like you're walking out of a Ferrari dealership with a Fiat. You know,
yeah.
The one thing that we have added, which Arsenal haven't, is we have a player outside of our front three, Richarlison, that can come in and contribute to quite a high level. Like he's already, I don't know, he's played 5 or 6 games this season. He's got 3 or 4 goal contributions. He's got our only goals in the Champions League so far, and he looks to be a real threat. I think from an Arsenal, I'm not saying our squads are, you could say on their day perform better. It all comes down to the manager for me, because if Arteta does not get top 4 this season, you spent £400 million roughly. You finished 8th twice and 5th. And you, of course, you won the FA Cup. Before anyone goes, yeah, you haven't won a trophy now, however long. Yeah, we're not talking about that for the moment. For Arsenal, you need to be back in that top 4. The Cronkies have put, whatever you say about them, the Cronky in, Cronky out, they've put a lot of money in. Josh Kroenke clearly has this wank fest of Arteta, and they get on quite well. But for me, you boys have got to be getting top 4 this season, and I would expect, from an Arsenal perspective, you to really go far in one of the domestic competitions and maybe even win it. Obviously, you've got a very good history of the FA Cup. You've won it, 13, 14 times, something stupid like that. But for me, it's not, when you're winning, it's the same as Tottenham. It's all hunky-dory. You're living life. But it's how you react back from losses. Because you've had quite a lot of times where you've gone on a few games here or there where you've looked really exciting. And I will say Arsenal look a lot better this season. I'm not going to be an idiot. I thought you were, Dan's probably going to agree with this, but I thought you were unlucky against Man United. I thought for a lot of the game, Gabriel Jesus was causing a lot of problems. And on another day, Arsenal, Odegaard missed an absolute howler. He runs onto the ball and he missed it. If he buries that, it's a different game. But the way United responded, Arsenal aren't used to that.
I think Arsenal's issue there was the manager, Henry. I think I genuinely think that the subs he made when they were looking to get back into the game, it knocked the stuffing out of them, didn't it?
They brought on Fred to nullify Odegaard, and Arteta didn't know what to do. So he made 3 subs. He took off Zinchenko, which I thought was madness because when he plays, they kind of go to a 3 at the back. And he kind of sits as like a DM, which is very odd because he does similar things for Ukraine. And he's actually jack of all. People will say jack of all trades, master of none, but he's a very good, intelligent footballer, right? Arteta didn't know what to do. And it's games like that where I said earlier, big games, North London derby, his first North London derby. Partey is on the sideline in absolute agony. He forces him back on. That decision there cost Partey another 3 or 4 weeks. Then Partey triggered that same injury. And then you lost him towards the end of last season and you lost Kieran Tierney. It's moments like that which separate elite managers to Arteta's to all the way down below David Moyes'. That's kind of the difference. For me, I feel like he's in-game manager. He's a good coach and he's good at putting out the cones. He's a very good coach, but man management in big games is for me where I think it's going to cost Arsenal. And I'm not saying that you're going to have a terrible season. Because you've won 5 out of your first 6. Any Arsenal fan would take that. Any Arsenal fan would, I was hearing, where's the gold trophies coming? The gold trophies coming. Comparing Lokonga to Patrick Vieira. I mean, as painful as it to me, Patrick Vieira is one of the best footballers the Premier League has seen. The guy was a Rolls Royce. Lokonga was moaning on the fucking Amazon documentary that he won't get enough minutes. Like, come on, mate, know your place.
Right. He's a shit, mate. He's shit.
But for me,
I think you can't compare them two. I'm sorry, that's madness.
I think you're. I'm going to say it now. I think the Tottenham's coming out. I mean, I think you're just going to miss out on top 4. If I was to put money on it, I don't think United are going to get there either. I think it's going to be City.
Listen. Go on.
I'm going to go City, Liverpool,
Chelsea,
Spurs.
Chelsea, Spurs. Oof.
See, I'd never put Arsenal in the top 4, and I've not changed my mind. Obviously, as I said at the start of the show, I don't think it's a madness call because Arteta has not evidence that he can get us into the Champions League. So why would anyone put us in the Champions League this year? Because we won 5 out of 6, maybe. A lot of the teams that we beat on paper, I think we should have beaten, and we did. I know you've got to beat the teams in front of you, and I understand the fixtures. We don't make them; they just give us to them. But at the same time, we've got some big fixtures to come. In October, we've got 9 games. We've got Man City, Liverpool, and Spurs in that October month. Plus, we've got to go to Bodo and Glimt, home and away, and we've got Leeds away, Brentford away.
Wait, you got to go where? You got to go where?
Bodo and Glimt, Norway, mate. You won't know it because
who?
Yeah, I think they won in the. I think they won in the 1991 like Champions League or something. They won probably.
Oh, did they?
No, yeah, something stupid like that.
Fucking sounds like a Lord of the Rings character. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it does, to be fair. So listen, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to get tough, and I'm not changing my opinion just yet because I still think that we are 1 or 2 injuries away from a little bit of trauma and a little bit of PTSD, should I say, because we haven't really learnt our case from last year. Going to wrap this up by going with Dan and Lawless on Arsenal. Do you disagree or agree with anything that's been said? We'll start with you, Dan United.
I think, look, the thing is, you've got to look at it this way. You're always going to back your team to do well. Dan Potts is always going to back Arsenal to try and hit that promised land. Henry's going to try and back Spurs to finish in top 4. Lawless is just happy to be here, as we all know. I'm always going to back my team to be where I want to be. I don't know. All jokes aside, I think, look, Arsenal need to do something this season. It's as simple as that. It is. Arteta... Lawless is so right in what he says about Moyes. I think Moyes has done the job he's done and deserves the time that he should be allowed. I do think that he's turned West Ham around. He has. West Ham before that had no identity. That they looked shocking. With this Arsenal team now, we're seeing an Arteta Arsenal. This is the team he wants. This is the team he's created. He needs to do the business this season, and I kind of feel like, and Potts, I think you've said this a few times. If he doesn't, then he needs to go. But then the other side of that is where do Arsenal go after that? Who do they go to after that? And we go back to this question from before: who's available now to come and do a job like that?
And that's the thing, Dan. And it's not about, for me, who's available. It's about who does Kroenke want. And this is why, I said to Lawless about it, and Lawless was saying Kroenke's the best owner ever and all this
Don't
stuff.
you dare slander.
I was saying that obviously that's not the case. And I think personally, as long as we get into the Europa League again, Arteta will stay. He shouldn't do, but I think he will, because Kroenke does not want to sack this guy because it's his project. And I'm talking about Josh here, by the way, not Stan. Stan doesn't care what we do. He doesn't even know where we finished
Don't
last year.
blame Stan. So it's your simple fans that want to keep saying trust the process. Maybe if you lot actually unified and said Kroenke out, if you finish in the Europa League, maybe Stan would go, oh, fuck, well, it's turning a bit sour down there. Maybe we should get Kroenke out. But no, there's still about 80% of you that will be like, well, you know,
I agree.
The World Cup was on, so that interrupted things. So we've got to give him a season without the World Cup.
I agree, though. I agree.
Yeah,
I think the fans have got to be to blame for why he's still here, because we've accepted it. We've accepted mediocrity for so long. And I've been saying that for a long time now.
You, Potts, is there underhanded tactics going on at Arsenal? Because you had 3 players who were not called up for the Brazilian team. Martinelli, Jesus, and Gabriel. Not called up. So I on the surface of it, I look at it and go, well, that's a big L for Arsenal. Look at that. They're so-called great players.
I was happy, mate. I was happy with that.
So the Brazilian team. Yeah, you lot are all celebrating. However, I'm returning to Arsenal fans like, oh, it's an Edu masterclass. Like, he basically called up the Brazilian manager and got them to leave our players out of it.
I don't know about that.
Why? You tell me why they didn't get.
I can't tell you why they've not been picked, but I'll be surprised if that's
not good enough for Brazil, or is it underhanded?
I would. Centre backs. Gabriel is nowhere near Marquinhos, Thiago Silva, and the guy from Juventus who signed from Torino. Can't what his name is now. Gabriel Jesus, and I'm not taking a piss pot.
He's the only one.
Brazil,
the other
doesn't perform as well as Richarlison does. He hasn't scored a goal in 3 years. As a striker, he's a better player than Richarlison, right? But for Brazil, he doesn't perform. And then Martinelli, they've got the likes of Neymar, Rafinha, and other players. So I'm not putting Arsenal players down, but when you look at the personnel Brazil have got, they're not going to get in their team. The only one that really has got a question mark above is Gabriel Jesus. But Gabriel shouldn't be anywhere near that Chelsea back line. Like, he needs to sort his hairline out before he does anything else. He's been to Turkey about 4 or 5 times. You look at Gleason Bremer, the Juventus defender. He's not a patch
Bremer,
on Silva, Marquinhos, or Bremer. And
do you know what? I like Gabriel. I really like Gabriel as a centre half. But you're right. He's not a Thiago Silva. He's not a Marquinhos. So I understood that one. Gabriel Martinelli's still young, and his time will come. You're not going to get ahead of Neymar, Rafinha, or even players like that are playing for him, right? But Jesus, I thought, would have got in the squad. I was amazed that he wasn't called up. Yeah, might not get in the first team. That's calm. But he definitely deserves to be in the squad. So something's going on there. I don't know. He ain't been fancied. I'll be amazed if all 3 of them don't go. If not at least one of them goes to there, but I'm more than happy. Listen, I went through our squad the other day. I don't think Arsenal will be touched by this World Cup. I don't think there's only Jesus, and apparently he doesn't even get picked. You've just told me.
I thought this was
Saka,
the best team in the world. Arteta said. Didn't
Who
say
said that? Arteta did. Yeah, but
I read that.
He's deluded.
Can't make the World Cup. That's interesting.
Well, listen, I know straight away. Tierney's not going. Zinchenko's not going. Erdegaard's not going because none of them qualified. You go through that Arsenal side and tell me how many of them are going to be playing in every single game right to the end of that competition.
In there?
So Granit Xhaka, that's one.
Yeah, Xhaka.
Ramsdale will go as squad player, won't he?
Right, so let's go through it. Ramsdale won't hardly play, right? It will be Pickford in goal.
It depends. Because
Pickford's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah, but I still don't think Southgate wants him as number 1. He loves Pickford. He ain't let him down, is he? So he won't do it. Tomiyasu, if he goes, they won't hardly be in it because he's Japanese. You got Ben White. He'll hardly play, in my opinion. Gabriel, you've just said exactly. There we go. So Ben White ain't going to play. Gabriel can't get picked. You've just told me. Both our left backs ain't qualified for the World Cup. Granit Xhaka, he might go. Saka will be the only other one that plays long term. Smith Rowe won't get picked. Nketiah won't get picked. Martinelli might not get picked. Fabio Vieira will go, but I don't think he'll play much over Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, you've got up top Jesus, we've just discussed. And then you've got Lokonga, who
What
won't.
about Ghana?
Party.
Ghana, innit?
Party. Will Ghana go far? I don't think so. But then maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, but
They may do.
he'll get injured in the opening game. So.
Exactly. So there you go. So I don't think
you
Arsenal
boys,
can
it's a
sit there
win-win
and say, "Oh my
situation,
God,
isn't it?
we've got a serious bad problem with this World Cup. All of these players have gone to the World Cup. Look at them; they're all knackered." No, they won't be. There's only Saka, if England go far, which I hope we do, that can be part of that. None of the others can, in my opinion. So we ain't got no excuses, man. We really ain't got no
It's the
excuses.
same. We've only got 2 players that could go far, and that's
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane and Hugo Lloris.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got Harry Maguire.
If he's in that England team, honestly, if he's in that England team,
See,
Yeah, that is a joke. If
he's another social experiment.
He will be though. He will play every game. Him and Stones will be the partnership. I'll tell you, Southgate is a nightmare, mate. He will honestly. I know what the team will be. It'll be the same one that the Euros was. It'll be exactly the same. You won't have anyone different in it. But yeah, I need money. But anyway, that's another podcast.
We can't have more players in decent sides than all of you lot. Surely, I'm trying to think about it. Like
Who, West Ham?
Half the team is from Man City.
Yeah, like we've got
Stones, Walker, Grealish, Foden. Then you've also got they've got another player as well. And from Liverpool, you've got Trent, Henderson.
Trent's not going to the World Cup. Come on now.
He'll be in the squad. He'll be in the squad.
Southgate hates him.
Yeah, but I'm not just talking about England because England's not the only. Oh, England are going to go all the way. But obviously, Paqueta's in the Brazilian side. It's Italy aren't in it, so we ain't got to worry about Skamaka or Emerson. But then you got Declan Rice in England. Can't but Czech Republic that are qualified, didn't they? Surely.
Yeah, none of your players will be affected, Lawless. Like
They
Declan
usually
Rice.
do good. Czech Republic do good. Paqueta,
Yeah, but
Paqueta's going to be affected.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Fornals is going for Spain. Fornals, Spain.
Yeah, he don't play, does he?
Yes, he did play.
Wait,
in
the
the
first
Euros.
team.
Spanish team.
He ain't getting that team, mate. Unless
Anyway,
they're really short.
He played in the Euros, mate. He played in the Euros. So
He don't get the first team. He ain't going to play in the first team.
He ain't going to get in that West Ham team.
nah, listen, I'm just saying. Well, we don't know, but he's
Come on.
He's in the squad. He's in the squad.
This is what Lawless is doing. He's trying to make this so that when it goes wrong in the there's an issue. There's an issue because of.
He was in the squad. If Zuma gets called up to France, you've got Zuma. We've got to see. We could be affected by it for sure. So, I'm worried now. I'm worried.
Oh dear, boo-hoo. Right, we're going to stop it there, people. Before we do and we come to a close, I'm going to ask you all to predict what you think the top 6 will be, and then we'll close it there. I've said my top 6. I'm staying with it. City to win it. Liverpool second. I think Spurs will come third. I do think Chelsea will, unfortunately, get the last spot of the Champions League. I think Arsenal will miss out in 5th. And then Man United, sorry, Lawless, I think will get 6th. Henry, let's come to you because I think you did your top 4. So what do you think the top 6 will be, mate?
I'm going to go City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs. You can flip a coin between the other 2.
Who are the other 2?
Well, it ain't going to be that lot down in the bottom right corner, is it? Come on. Let's keep it somewhat respectful. I'm going to go Pandemic Peps, Arsenal, and then Ten Hag. And then 7th, I'm going to go Newcastle.
And then what? West Ham 8th?
Yeah, West Ham 8th.
Fuck off.
Newcastle got no European competition, and when you go deep into that Conference League, you fell apart last year because you ain't got the depth.
We finished 7th, and we have better depth now than we did.
But Newcastle will go and buy in January, though. That's the difference. They'll go and add a few more players.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That's January. I'm looking at us, not looking at Newcastle. They added players last January.
Got 3 goals this season.
They got Gabriel. they got They got Trippier and all of that, right? We have better depth than this season, and we're in a quote unquote easier competition. We finished 7th with hardly any depth, and we came like 2 points off of 6th. Literally,
I'll tell you what, Lawless. We'll come back to this, but I'm telling you now, you will not finish above Newcastle.
That's
wow.
They've got no European football, right? They've already gone and bought Isak and Botman. Both of them start for the other teams. They've got no European football, and it will catch up with you when Unai Emery knocks you out of the Europa League.
Henry, what are you talking about, mate? They'll struggle to finish above Palace at the moment.
Listen, yeah, fucking Newcastle. They're playing Football Manager. It's all Football Manager. Oh, they signed this good player.
You'd love to be in their position, though, wouldn't you? We'd all love to be in their position. Go and have a pick of what you want.
Yeah, but they haven't really done it though, have they? They haven't really gone out and splashed like everyone thought they were going to splash. Like, okay, they got
smart buys though. They've done smart buys like Nick Pope on a free.
I'll tell you what,
Kieran Trippier.
If West Ham don't finish higher than last season after spending near on 200 million, don't look good, Lawless, does it?
It's
don't
the process,
look good,
isn't it, Potts? Ain't it the process?
Listen, I don't believe in processes. I don't believe in processes, but you do. You're being confident with this side.
Like we listen. Apparently, according to Arsenal fans, that's the process. Is you have shit seasons for a while, and then you're gonna see the promised land, and then you'll be champions of the league. So now we've spent the money. The process is on. We could finish, 17th for 3 seasons, but the process is happening. Then we'll win the league and the Champions League and all of that stuff. We're doing it the Arsenal way.
But then Arsenal fans, majority of them are deluded, bro. So don't go down that road. You just stick with what you think is going to happen to West Ham. You stick with 7th, mate. Come on, let's have your top 6. Come on, bro.
Listen, like I said, why should I change it after 6 games?
Come on in. Top 6.
Man City first. Liverpool second. Chelsea third. Spurs 4th. Arsenal 5th. West Ham United 6th. Newcastle United 7th. Man United 8th. How about that? There's West Ham for you, Henry. Great Newcastle. You've convinced me. You've convinced me they're going to do something this season without European football, all of that stuff. They'll finish with Man United. There you go.
There we go. Lastly, Dan United, what are you saying?
What do you say to that? What do you fucking say to that, man? Jesus Christ. I'm going to go City first, obviously. Liverpool, I think, will turn around as much as I hate to say it. Second.
Have we lost him?
I think we have.
He's froze.
He's so look at he's froze like that. He's so devastated that you've put Man United in 8th.
Yeah, he's sitting there. He's thinking, how can I talk up Man United being third? How can I get us in this position? How can I justify it? I need to justify Man United. We're gonna go on a title run. Look at this. We're gonna challenge. Let's just say West Ham top 4. I think that's what he was going to say.
I think he was going to say that, to be honest.
Man United 17th. He's grounded. He's realistic.
Listen, we're going to finish it there, man. Something a little bit different just to catch up with what's been happening Premier League-wise. And we are going to leave it there. Henry, man, thanks so much for stepping in for Tobes, mate. Much appreciate that, bro. Where can people follow you, man?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Tobes messaged me saying that there might be something you've got to step in for me. So I was like, I said to him, as soon as he said that, I was like, I'm going to get cooked and get absolutely cooked. But it's been very respectful. Just subscribe to the channel at Henry Wright TV and all that good stuff. And yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciated. The chat's been pretty calm tonight, and Lawless has been, okay. Hasn't really gone in on Spurs for losing.
Well, so again, how can I roast you when you do it for me? Like, really and truly, like what you're taking all my lines away from me. You're taking all my material. So
I'm sure you'll find some sort of material.
Big up yourself, Henry. Get over to Henry Wright TV. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you do that, people. Dan United, you're back, bro. You're back. You got to 2nd place and then crashed out. Is that because you're going to put Man United 3rd or something?
And I was going to put West Ham, and my Wi-Fi told me I was making a madness, so they cut me off. No, I'm sorry. Quickly,
17th by default because of your Wi-Fi. So that's.
Can I hear you, mate? Can I hear you, mate? No. Quickly, it's going to be City first, Liverpool second. Fucking hell. Spurs 3rd, United 4th, Arsenal 5th, Chelsea 6th. West Ham might surprise you, 17th.
No, the Man United are 17th by default. That's what you get for having shit Wi-Fi.
Of course they are.
Upgrade. Get fibre, mate. Get fibre.
I'll take shit Wi-Fi over your fucking Strike Force any day, mate, at the moment.
You ain't got fibre down there in Southampton.
When did you ever think the day would happen that Rashford would have scored the same amount of goals you have in the entire season in the league? That's the thing I want to know.
He will score for the rest of the season. That's all he will score for the rest of the
You
season.
know.
Yeah, but Dan, don't worry, they've got MA9, so he's the Lord and Savior, or JB20.
Listen, MA9, yeah, you know about MA9. You know about MA9 at Spurs. Don't you worry about that. He christened your stadium, mate.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's the Mikel Antonio Stadium.
That's
Jesus.
fine. That's absolutely fine. I mean, I'm not worried about having a right back up front. To be fair, it's probably better than if we put Emerson Chicken-Raya out front. So.
Well, he's
Yeah,
a right
man.
winger. You know, it was only Spillish who wanted to make him the next Antonio from Valencia. So he's a right winger.
Lawless, big weekend for you, mate. Because I think if you don't get the points this week, you'll just have to be an honorary host because you're going to have no reason in being in this conversation anymore. Big
really
week for you. Big week for you, Sunshine.
Game week 7 decides the table, right? Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
You got to get past Cyborg first, yeah. So they might. You never know.
I hope you win, Lawless, because I really want to see you at Christmas, mate. I'm really looking forward to seeing you at Christmas. So if anything, West Ham, if you're listening, just win for Lawless. I've got to see him at Christmas.
Listen, the way you're talking, right? You might go on a real shit run and you get relegated to the survival show or whatever it's called.
One of you will end up in there the way it's going, and it ain't going to be Dan United. Trust me. Right. Listen,
cool.
Listen, we're going to wrap up there, guys.
Big love, Lawless. Big love.
Thank you. Big love to everyone. Big love to all of you. Big love. Get yourself over to the Lawless on Twitter and Instagram and West Ham Fan TV. Get yourself over to @FootballOne and support Dan's content. Also, if you haven't done so already, smash a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Come and follow me on socials at DanArsenal87 on Twitter and Instagram. And we will see you next time, guys. Tobes and Lewis will be back next time. And hopefully, football is back and we can have something to talk about again. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.